What's up, Burn Nation? I am so excited to join you guys today on the podcast. I know normally you're seeing Morgan and Devin, but it's me today. It's me, like Taylor Swift says, it's me. So my name is Amber Burke, and I'm the Vice President of Franchise Operations. It's a big fancy title that means I serve our system. I serve our system through several different departments. I have rock stars in each of those departments, from compliance to real estate, construction and design, field support, education. I'm sure I'm forgetting one, but it's an amazing job. So just want to spend some time with you guys today and let you get to know me a little bit, because myself and my peers, we are Burn. We operate just like any other organization, and that's to serve our members in our community. So what brought me to Burn? I was a member first. I moved into a neighborhood close to headquarters, and the first 6 women that I met in the neighborhood said, "Oh my gosh, you work out, have you tried Burn?" I had no idea what Burn was, and thought, okay, well, by the 3rd or 4th referral, then I should probably go check it out. I've been in the fitness industry for almost 23 years now. I've never had like a real job. I wear spandex every day, but I love it. It's absolutely my passion. I started as a strength and conditioning coach with a fitness concept called Velocity Sports Performance. I worked with athletes ages 8 to 18 on strength, agility, speed and conditioning, Olympic lifting. Snatch is probably one of my favorite exercises, and just loved it. And my passion for leading, organizing, and my own internal drive to grow led me to take on additional responsibilities through Velocity, where I eventually became a center director for franchises in the Philadelphia area. I moved to Charlotte for Velocity, and that was also around the time in 2008 when a lot of things were happening in our economy, and I also had my first child, so I stepped away from the industry for a little bit and then came back into personal training. So I've had a passion for the industry and also a passion for growth and understanding business in general. And so throughout my 23 years, I've probably held just about every position that you can in fitness, from operations to personal training sales, personal training management, master trainer, programmer, director of group fitness, pro shop, retail, you name it, I've done it. I have a passion for learning and understanding how everything works together holistically. So fast forward a couple years ago to moving into my new neighborhood, and I checked out Burn on a free Saturday and loved it. And after that, I did a camp pack, and then I was a promo hopper, which is what everybody calls me. I did every promo because I worked in a gym every day. I got up in the morning and went to a gym. So how am I going to justify paying for this other gym? And what I didn't realize is, as I was experiencing Burn intermittently, it was filling something within me from a community perspective and from a mom perspective. And it just really resonated really deeply with me. So I became a member. So I'd get up every morning at 5 o'clock and do the 5:30 camp with Matt Morris here at Lake Norman, and then drive to my other gym and work. And I would also wear my Burn gear to that other gym. So super proud of the brand. And about 3 years after becoming a member, I thought, I think I want to work there. And so here we are. I started as the sales and education manager, and now I'm in charge of a lot of the operations, and I couldn't love it anymore. All right, second question. I have to read on the list here. I think this is a funny question, actually. What would my parents, or how would my parents describe me? My dad would describe me as his baby girl forever and always. But more than that, I think as a mom who's devoted to her kids and always pursuing the next adventure, whether that's in my career or personally. I was an athlete in college, walked on to a sport I'd never played before my senior year just because I was bored, pursued learning in Budapest as an exchange student in college, because why not? So I just love challenging myself in those ways. So I think my parents would say always their baby girl, but definitely always pursuing that next adventure. All right, next. If I could go back and give my 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be? I think it would be to have more faith in yourself. Outwardly, I'm a super strong individual, and no one would think that I have personally felt inadequate. I have a really hard time being vulnerable, and sometimes that's in itself is limiting. So if I had anything to say to my 18-year-old self, it would say, be more vulnerable, let more people in. I like doing things the hard way, but that's not always the right way. All right, let's see. Favorite protocol, hands down, leg day. Give me all the heavy weights. Give me all the leg days. It's just my favorite day. I love lifting heavy, and that's the day where I feel like I can really get after it, and so just give me all the leg days. Favorite piece of burn gear. This is a tough one. I think I ebb and flow with all the styles that come out. Our retail team is incredible, and every single time they put a tank out or a sweatshirt out or anything, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's new and fresh. I need that one. And I'm like, okay, no more. We're good. I have 500 pieces in my closet. Oh, there's a new one. I need that one too. So I think it's very challenging because I never know what's coming around the corner, and I always want the next thing. So my favorite piece of burn gear is the burn gear I'm wearing in the moment. All right. Let's see. What has burn done for myself and my family? Provided another family. It's a deep connection. There's a quote, and I probably won't get it right, but it's, if you love what you do, you're never working. And that is how I feel every day. I think about going to work and interacting with my peers and being on a team. As an athlete, I love the concept of being on a team, and it's so special to me, and that's how I feel when I come into the office every day. And I think what I take back to my family because of that is there is joy in work and through work, and you can be passionate, and you can monetize that passion through a career. And I think that's important for my family to see, for my kids to see. I think it makes me a better mom. Sometimes it can be overwhelming and challenging, but when you love it, it's a different type of overwhelming. I want to show up and be my best for my team and for the system that we serve. My family had their own businesses as I grew up. My dad and my stepmom had a bed and breakfast, which is a cool thing to live in when you're a kid. And my mom had a dance store. That was my first sport, was dance, and so she bought the store in the community. And so I grew up watching them, earn the dollars to feed the family. I grew up seeing them out in their communities and developing and establishing relationships so their businesses would grow. So I understand what that's like, and that really resonates with me when I speak to franchise partners, when I hear their challenges, when I hear their opportunities, when I celebrate their successes with them. And when I do that, there's a joy. So every single day I get to travel, which is wonderful, and when I'm in these other communities that seem far away from Huntersville, North Carolina, but I see the same magic happening, it's just incredible. And so it fills me up, and so when I go home, I can be that person full of joy through work. If you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? Deep questions on the podcast today. Man, this is a tough one. I think, I would personally just want to leave a legacy of leaving the world a better place than when I came into it. And I know that that's cliche and kumbaya and all that stuff, but I truly mean that. For my family, for my daughter specifically, I want her to be that vulnerable person that I wasn't. And so for her, I want her to fit into the world as she wants to show up. And so as a mom, I want to leave that as a legacy. For my son, he's my little Aries guy. He's sensitive and strong all at the same time. And so I think seeing a mom that's willing to face challenges and do things that, I don't know that I'm capable of doing, but still showing up for him, I want that legacy. So, I think it's omni-channel for me. But yeah, another tough one in the sense that there's a lot of people that influence me. So the question is, tell me about 3 of the most influential people in your life. And I think first and foremost, it's God, because in your deepest, darkest moments or in your most celebratory joys, He's the one. And I don't express that a lot. I don't know that a lot of people would think I would say that to be the first thing. I'm just not an outward person like that. That whole feelings thing and vulnerability kind of plays into that. But for sure, like, it's a huge influence for me. Second to that would be my parents. All of them in different ways because of the way they grew up, the struggles that they had, the successes that they have. They've all influenced me to be the person that I am in very, very different ways. And if I didn't have them, I would not be sitting on this couch talking to you guys. I have a dad, I have a stepmom, I have my real mom, and they're incredible people, and they all get along, and we all hang out together, which I don't know that a lot of people can say that. And so that in and of itself is a huge influence, but they're all so different, and I have learned so much from them. So I put them together kind of all as one person. And then lastly, it's my daughter, because she's the next version of me in some ways. And so what I put out, I get back. If you've got kids, they're a wonderful mirror. And so along the way, not only is she growing up, but I'm also growing up, and she's shaping me in that way too. So those are the three most influential people in my life. Okay, this is a fun one, and probably exposes maybe something that I do too much of. What are the three things that are always in your fridge? So number one is oat milk creamer for my coffee. I got to start off with that first thing in the morning. I am the program your coffee pot for the time you want it to go off, so when you get up out of bed and walk down the stairs, it is hot and ready to go every morning. Next would be an energy drink. caffeine. 2 o'clock every day, energy drink. I'm also a creature of habit and routine. And then lastly is yogurt. I eat the same thing for breakfast every morning. I have our chocolate afterburn, plant-based protein, and a plant-based yogurt. I literally eat that every single morning. So if I don't start off with those things, it's not going to be a good day. So those always have to be in the fridge. Best professional advice that I've ever received. I think having mentors along my career path has given me the opportunity to have the right person in the right place at the right time. And so I've received a lot of really great information. One of the areas that I'm working on right now is listening with empathy and compassion, and making sure that it's not my own opinion, and not being quick to form a decision without really hearing all of the different sides. And so I actually got it today. It was a conversation I had today, and it was more so just encouraging me to continue to do that more. And had he not asked me, hey, how are you showing up? How are you listening to people? Are you listening with empathy? I don't think that I would have realized to continue doing that as much as I did in the moment today. So it was just a great reminder to keep doing those things, to make sure that when I show up in a way that when I'm speaking to someone, whether it's a team member in the office or it's a franchise partner in our system, that I'm listening with as much of my heart and my mind as I can. All right, guys. Well, I have been more vulnerable than I want to be today with all of you, but if you're part of Burn Nation, you are on my heart, and if you're not part of Burn Nation, I want you to be. So if you're curious, you got to check it out. If you're ever in the Lake Norman, Huntersville area, please let me know. I would love to do camp with you anytime. Just reach out through Burn Boot Camp Podcast. So I'm going to close it out today. Thank you so much for joining our Burn Boot Camp Podcast. We are here for you guys, and I hope that you guys feel that. Like, subscribe, click all the buttons, whatever it is that you technology people do. And we're going to end this podcast like we end everything here at Burn Boot Camp. 2 claps on 2, 1, 2.